Thank you so much to our amazing Patreon sponsors, Film Swag, Dr. Dread, SNS, Minnesota Wax, and Royal Perp. Hello everyone, my name is AndrewAJT, and today I want to give my thoughts on some recent events in old school RuneScape. So just an update on me, things are still going well. Mostly been playing other games like I talked about in the previous video, but I do still follow along with the news and updates of old school, and I have some thoughts on them for this video. Real quick, I do want to mention that I did watch the Nintendo Direct from the other day for September 2021, and there was some pretty amazing stuff. I am very happy to see Nintendo 64 being added as an additional thing to Nintendo Switch Online with the expansion pack and also the Sega Genesis games. I'm very excited to play games like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in the future on the Switch, and it's such a cool addition to see these being on the Switch finally pretty soon. It looks like the games are mostly unchanged from the original. I wish there were more enhancements like HD or widescreen, things like that, but they will have online multiplayer, and you can't go wrong with a portable N64 on your Switch. That is going to be pretty cool. I'm also fascinated by this new 3D Kirby game. We don't know much about it yet, but it definitely looks like something new and refreshing for a Kirby game, because Kirby has always really been 2D for the most part, with a few exceptions. Like Kirby's Air Ride, you can run around in 3D in City Trial, but that's not really like a full-fledged game. It's just a multiplayer mode for the most part. So something like that, but with an adventure mode, sounds really fun. So this was a big month of news for old school RuneScape. Probably the biggest thing that happened was the whole RuneLite HD situation. The plugin for RuneLite was set to be released, and shortly before that, Jagex kind of put a stop to it. There was some community outrage, and eventually Jagex kind of walked back their stance, and now we have RuneLite HD, and that's just kind of a very brief summary of what happened. There's more smaller details, but it's kind of irrelevant now because, again, we do have the client plugin available to us now, and it looks like there even could be more collaboration between Jagex and 117scape for more graphical enhancements, which is a cool thing. I definitely think some people took the outrage too far. Like, you shouldn't be sending angry tweets at a JMod complaining about this. It's just a game after all. If you want to have constructive criticism, that's fine, but it is just a game at the end of the day. You shouldn't really be that angry about this either way. But with all that being said, RuneLite HD is here, and it is pretty cool. A few things I noticed right off the bat is the frame rate is very good, which is surprising because my laptop is around 7 years old, and it was a good gaming laptop at the time when I got it, but it does not run some of the newer games as well as I would like. But RuneLite HD seems to run very well on my computer with at least mostly default settings, so no problems there. It also looks really good. I like how it kind of has its own style, but it doesn't really change the overall feel of the original graphics. I've never really been someone who wanted an HD client that much because I do enjoy the original old school graphics, but it feels like this just enhances them rather than changes them. I don't know if that makes sense, but I like it more than I expected for that reason. And remember that this is just the beta version of the plugin, so I think 117scape has done a really good job with it so far. Of course, the other thing that went wrong this month was the DMM Tournament, which was very laggy. I did not play in it, but I know a lot of people were complaining of high ping and lag and disconnections and all that bad stuff, so I don't know, I feel like they should just redo the tournament after they can ensure that a redo would go smoothly, and it looks like this is one of the options they are exploring, as they talked about in the Deadman Reborn Finals retrospective post, so hopefully everything works out well with that. Kind of an unfortunate situation. A lot of people do talk about the World 45, and they want the permanent World 45 Deadman to be reset. And there is something to that idea because I don't love the temporary statuses of Deadman. I would much rather play one that just kind of lasts forever and you can come back to it anytime or take breaks from, rather than the short grind of the seasonals or the tournament. And they would just have to really overhaul the World 45 Deadman to make it more active again, and maybe just reset it or make a new server for people to play on, so it would be a more level playing field compared to the people who've been playing it for years. I also saw that Nex is being worked on for Old School, which is pretty cool. I don't know much of the details about it yet, but some of the images I've seen look pretty interesting. It would have been nice to see them go in a different direction for Old School as far as what's behind that door in the God Wars dungeon. There could have been like an alternate timeline type of thing where it's just a completely different experience compared to Nex, and maybe it will be different. I don't know the full details of that, so we'll just have to see. But no matter what, Nex was a fun boss, so having it in Old School is probably only going to make the game better. Thank you all so much for watching. That's all my thoughts for today. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and you can turn bell notifications to all so you get notified of when I upload a new video. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram down below, and you can join my chat channel and clan chat in-game, AndrewAJT62. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can check out my Patreon page in the end screen. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next video.